and gentlemen, for your patience.
All right, thanks again for your patience. As Kat was saying, you don't have freedom if you don't have freedom in your body. And that was something that I began to realize at a very young age. I got into the field of healthcare because I had known health complaints that conventional medicine didn't have answers for. I was dealing with chronic fatigue, widespread aches and pains. And I had experience with chiropractic, and it offered me a little bit of benefit, more so than anything conventional medicine was offering me. Massage therapy did the same thing, and I ended up enrolling in chiropractic because I had to figure it out, because I knew that nobody else in the system was going to figure it out for me. So ultimately, as I got into chiropractic, I found my way into something called applied kinesiology, which is an integrative system that brings in concepts of chiropractic, Chinese medicine, naturopathy, and various forms of energetic medicine. Through all of that, I began to understand that I was dealing with Lyme disease, which is really a breakdown of the immune system, accumulation of toxicity, mixed with emotional trauma. It's pretty much got everything in terms of illness. And so I had to work my way through that. And so that's my background. And about a year and a half ago, if I can get this to work. Okay. Okay, yeah, so this is my background. But about a year and a half ago, I went on a cruise to Alaska with my mom and one of her friends, and I happened to run into my partner here, Dr. Veras, and Dr. Veras had told me that about a month ago, prior to meeting her, she was hospitalized for 10 days because she had kidney stones and she was dealing with sepsis, which is a systemic blood infection. Now, a couple weeks after her bout with all of that, she was on the most popular television show in Mexico talking about G-spot activation. So she's just relaying all this information to me, and I'm thinking, wow, this woman who's talking about this amazing thing. I have my doubts that people are going to remember her name, because she's telling me right now, and I just met her, and I'm like, I don't remember her name. So I thought, you know what, you ought to call yourself Dr. G-spot, because I don't think anybody here is going to forget Dr. G-spot, right? So that's how the name came up, right? And anyway, so while I'm getting to know her, I ended up telling her about some of the things that I do, and I ended up checking her out, doing my voodoo, right? And I find that, you know what, it looks like you've got some E. coli, you're dealing with candida, you've got some liver toxicity, colon toxicity. I think I can help you. And so I ended up putting on a protocol to help clear all that stuff out. And, you know, her focus was primarily on the external. But through her experience with me, she began to realize just how important it is to take care of the internal as well. And so this was her at age 30, and that's her now. And it's been a combination of working on things internally and as well as externally. And so, you know, when she's telling me what she does, she's like, well, you know, one of the other things that I do this 10 years less program. And she shows me this picture of a before and after of this guy who's like, I think he's 62, is that right? Is he 62? Yeah, he's 62 years old. And I'm like, wow, that's incredible, you know? And I'm 46 right now, and I'll admit I'm a little vain. And I started to notice that I'm showing some signs of aging that I don't really care for that much, but I'm not a big fan of Botox, so I said, well, you know, if you want to do something like that for me, I'm game, but you can't do any Botox. So anyway, she did, and I'm really happy with the results that she's done for me. And so we're partnering up now, I'm formulating products and protocols to facilitate detoxification, and she is taking care of the external, and her emphasis is on this whole G-spot activation, which I'm going to let her tell you all about it right now. But it's much more about healing than it is just sexuality. The implications for what she's doing, I believe, are world-changing. I really do. In time, people are going to figure out just what she's onto. So you guys are here at a special time to see the birth of DrGSpot and what she's creating. So here's my partner, Dr. Evelyn Veras.
Gracias a todos ustedes, los que están aquí, presentes. Bueno,
¿Cómo le hacemos?
¿sí? Okay.
Thank you to all of you that are present here with us.
Sí. Para mí es un placer estar aquí y poder comunicar esta información, que es una información que viene desde el alma, que viene del corazón, porque se ha convertido en nuestra misión de vida.
I'm really happy to be here, really excited to present this because it's something that comes from the heart, from the soul to
Misión de vida.
it's my life's mission.
Sí, cuando yo conocí a Matthew en Alaska,
When I met Matthew in Alaska,
yo conocía la importancia de verme menos 10 años.
I recognized the importance of looking 10 years younger.
Pero al igual que muchos de nosotros, no conocía la importancia de sentirme menos 10 años.
But
Okay, yes. Okay, you can hear me. Yes. Okay, it's true. Good idea. Excelente idea. It's good for me too. Okay. So, cuando conocí a Matthew.
When I met Matthew
Exactamente, en Alaska.
in Alaska,
No sé, pero es que me impresiona decir su nombre una y otra
I
vez.
get really impressed to say his name over and over again.
Platicaba con Matthew de que todos
I
los
was talking
días
to him about how every day
yo veía
I would see
pacientes
patients
de mi consulta
in my office
con un alma triste.
with a sad soul.
Exactamente. Querían lucir menos
They
10
wanted to
años,
look 10 years younger.
pero cuando
But
veía sus miradas,
When
sus
you would
ojos,
see their eyes,
al lucir menos 10 años,
when they wanted to look 10 years younger,
yo sentía algo increíble en el fondo
I
de
could
mi
feel
alma.
something really special in the deepest part of my soul
Como ese escultor que
Like in a
dice,
sculpture
wow, mira,
that looks at a piece.
esto no es solamente algo físico,
This is not just something physical.
esto es algo que
This is
trasciende
something
más
that
allá.
transcends beyond.
Es un alma
It's a soul,
pura
pure,
en amor,
in love,
en alegría,
in joy,
que quiere reflejar
that
fuera.
wants to reflect
lo
that
que tiene
outside, what
dentro.
they have inside of themselves.
Y es aquí
And it is here
cuando
when
el programa
this
DrGSpot
program, DrGSpot,
no solo se convirtió
is
en un
not
programa
just
de menos 10
a
años,
program for to look 10 years younger,
sino que se convirtió
It
en un
became
programa
a
de
program
plenitud sexual.
of sexual plenitude.
Porque estas mismas pacientes
These same patients
tenían algo en común
had
todas,
something in common, all of them,
de lo cual yo no estaba fuera de,
and I was part of it too,
porque yo también soy mujer.
because I'm a woman also.
Tenían frustración,
Frustrations they
porque
had,
nunca antes habían
because they
sentido
had
un
never
orgasmo
experienced
en punto G
a
vaginal.
G-spot orgasm
Estaban viviendo
They were
insatisfacción
living-
sexual.
without being satisfied sexually.
Y es ahí cuando surgió
And
la
it is
idea
then when the idea came up
de crear una
to
técnica
create a technique,
que hemos denominado
that we've called
activación de punto G,
G-spot activation,
con el objetivo
with the objective
de poder lograr
to be able to make it
que esta mujer pueda tener un orgasmo
that this lady
en punto
could have an
G
orgasm
vaginal.
through the G-spot, through the vagina.
Y Matthew y yo
Matthew and I,
creemos
we believe
que la mejor forma de
that the
transformar
best
la
way to
vida de otro ser
transform
humano
another person's life
es transformar
is
nuestra propia vida.
to transform our own lives,
Es ahí donde nos
It is there
convertimos en
when
nuestros
we
propios
became
pacientes.
our own
Menos
patients,
10 años,
minus 10 years,
pero también en nuestros
but
propios
also
pacientes para
our
poder
patients to be
experimentar
able to experiment
salud sexual,
sexual health,
plenitud sexual.
plentiful.
Y al igual que apliqué la
And
técnica
just
de
like I
DrGSpot
applied
activation
these techniques of G-spot activation
en mis pacientes,
with my patients,
apliqué
I
también la
applied
técnica en mí.
those on myself.
Para poder mirar
To
a
be
mis
able to
pacientes
look
a
at
los
my
ojos
patients in the
y
eye
poder
and be
entender lo
able to
que cada
understand what
mujer
every
estaba
woman was
experimentando
experiencing
al mismo
at the same
tiempo.
time.
Estamos viendo que era
We
una
are seeing
técnica
that this was a
que
technique
transformaba
that
vidas.
transformed lives,
Porque después de esta
because
técnica,
after this technique,
las mujeres
women
comenzaban a tener
they started having
mayor amor por sí mismas,
more love for themselves,
la alegría de ser ellas
the joy
mismas.
to be themselves.
Identificaban que eran únicas y especiales
They identified that they were unique and special,
y entendían la
and they were able to
importancia
understand the importance
de reconocer y
to
aceptar el
recognize
balance en
and
su vida,
accept the balance in their lives,
de integrar el
to
amor
integrate love
y placer,
and pleasure,
pasión.
passion,
Porque muchas de
because
ellas,
a lot of them,
al igual que yo,
just like me,
al igual que tú,
just like
cada
you,
mujer que está
every
aquí,
woman that's here,
olvidó ser
we
mujer en
forgot to be
alguna
a
etapa
woman
de
at
su
some
vida.
point in our lives.
Eres madre,
You're a mom,
eres esposa,
you're a wife,
eres excelente
you're
profesional,
an excellent professional,
pero no pasaste por una escuela del
but you
placer
didn't go to a pleasure school,
y te has tenido que dar a
and
topes
you've had to stumble
una y otra
once
vez,
and twice and many times
¿ok? Para poder
to
integrar
be able to integrate
vivir la
and
experiencia
live the experience
de un dulce
of a sweet
orgasmo.
orgasm,
El milagro de poder
the miracle
experimentar
of being able to experiment and
dulce
experience a sweet
orgasmo en tu
orgasm
vida,
in your
punto
life
G,
with the
vaginal.
G-spot through the vagina.
Y tuvimos en esta gráfica
In this graph we have
dos parejas
two couples
donde
where
hay algo importante que ustedes pueden
there's
identificar.
something important that you
Y
can
es lo que
identify.
pueden identificar
What can
es
you identify?
insatisfacción sexual.
You
Pero si lo
cannot
ven,
be
ambos están
satisfied
mirando hacia
sexually.
polos diferentes.
But if you're seeing it from different points,
Es la causa número uno de
it's the
divorcio a nivel
first
mundial.
cause of divorce worldwide.
Falta de comunicación.
Lack of communication,
Donde
where
cuando hay falta de
when
comunicación,
there's a lack of communication,
yo no puedo expresar
I cannot express myself.
que me gusta,
What do I like?
que no me gusta.
What I don't like.
Pero sobre todo no tengo el
But most
valor
importantly, I don't feel brave
de
enough
poderle decir a esa
to be
persona
able to tell my partner
quién soy yo.
who I am,
Porque yo no
because
me amo.
I don't love myself.
Porque la mejor
Because
forma
the best
de
way
encontrar el
to
amor
really find
incondicional,
unconditional love,
el verdadero amor,
true love,
pero sobre todo conectar alma con
but to be able
alma,
to connect soul with soul,
es amarme yo
is to
primero.
love myself first.
Todo lo que estamos aquí,
Everybody here,
estoy sumamente segura
I'm really sure
de que queremos
that
experimentar
we would want to experience
no solo una conexión de cuerpo,
not just a body
es una conexión
experience,
de alma
but
y
a soul
espíritu.
connection and
Y
spirit
eso
connection.
ocurre cuando
that only
nosotros
happens when
unificamos el punto G
We're able
vaginal
to connect with the G-spot in the
hablando del
vagina,
cuerpo
speaking in the body,
y lo conectamos con
and
el
we
pene,
connect that
con el falo
with the
masculino.
penis, with the phallus.
En este momento,
In this
juntos,
moment,
ambos vamos a experimentar
We
un
both
clima de la
experience
felicidad.
climax of
Es
happiness.
el éxtasis
It's an
orgásmico
ecstasy of orgasmic,
que expresa libertad y
and it
alegría,
expresses happiness and freedom,
pero que expresa un alma
but it expresses a soul
que está lista para
that is
desnudarse,
ready to bear itself,
para ser
to be, to
y
become,
entregarse en toda su
and to give
totalidad.
itself in its totality.
Y aquí vemos algo
Here,
importante.
we see something very important.
70% de todas las
70%
mujeres a
of all
nivel
the
mundial
women worldwide,
están experimentando
they're
anorgasmos.
experiencing anorgasmic. They're not having orgasms.
Nunca antes han
Never.
sentido un orgasmo
They've
en
never
punto
experienced
G
a
vaginal.
G-spot orgasm.
Esto es algo muy, muy importante.
This is something really important.
Pueden haber experimentado orgasmo clitoriano,
They may have experienced an orgasm through the
pero
clitoris,
nunca han
but
experimentado
never
un
have they
orgasmo en
experienced
punto
a
G
G-spot
vaginal. Y esto no
orgasm.
tenga que ver con que soy estadounidense.
This has nothing to do with being in the United States.
Yo soy dominicana.
I am from the Dominican Republic.
Encontramos de todas las razas
We find in all the races,
y coincidimos en lo mismo.
and we have the same thing in
No
common.
estábamos experimentando
We were not
orgasmos en
experiencing
punto G vaginal.
orgasms through the G-spot.
Entonces, mis
So
pacientes lo
my
confirman,
patients confirmed that for me.
las revistas lo
The
confirman.
magazines confirmed that.
Es un problema
It's a
mundial.
problem, worldwide problem.
Entonces, ¿qué vamos a
So
hacer?
what are we going to do?
Esto es una responsabilidad de la mujer,
This is a woman's responsibility,
pero también es
but also
responsabilidad del hombre.
It's a man's responsibility.
Porque estamos hablando
Because
de
we are
dos.
talking about two people.
No es una sola
It's
persona.
not just one person.
Es una conexión.
It's a connection.
De este 30% que
There's
nunca antes
30% that
ha experimentado
have never felt an orgasm.
es en ninguna parte del cuerpo.
And nowhere in the
No
body.
clítoris,
No clitoris, no
en ninguna
vaginal,
parte. Es decir,
not at all.
mujeres
So
robots.
women that are robots,
Que estamos muertas
that are dead,
porque tenemos miedo a
because we are
sentir.
so afraid to feel.
Sí. Ahora,
Now,
67% han
67%
tenido que mentir
have
alguna
had to
vez en su
fake
vida orgasmo.
sometimes their orgasm.
A ver, hombres que están aquí,
Men here,
¿ustedes qué van a hacer al respecto?
what are you going to do about that?
Ahorita vamos a visualizar
We're going to visualize right
que hay
now
factores que
that
intervienen
there are
en
factors
que una
that
mujer no
intervene
pueda tener un orgasmo en punto G
that women
vaginal.
sometimes cannot have vaginal orgasms.
La próxima vez que tu mujer te diga,
Next time your woman tells you,
no he tenido un orgasmo,
I haven't had an orgasm,
presta atención.
pay attention.
Eso. Give me five. Exacto, presta atención.
So
Porque
pay
si no
attention.
prestas
Because
atención
if you don't pay
a esto,
attention to this,
el hombre es muy fácil de
man,
decir,
it's
es tu
really easy to say,
responsabilidad.
well, it's your responsibility.
Ah, sí, claro.
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
Yo como mujer tengo que
As a
aceptar la
woman, I
responsabilidad de
have to
autoexplorarme.
take responsibility that I have to explore myself
¿Ok? Y conocer mi cuerpo.
and to be able to know my body.
Esa es mi responsabilidad.
That is my responsibility.
Y esa responsabilidad se
And
la hemos
that
dejado al
responsibility,
hombre.
we've put it on the man.
La mujer siempre
The woman
ha soñado con el príncipe.
Always dreams about the charming Prince Charming,
Hey, la llave perfecta.
the perfect key.
Aquí está tu punto G.
Here's your G-spot.
Y si el hombre no
And if a
encuentra el
man
punto
can't
G,
find a G-spot,
no es buen hombre. No es buen hombre.
it's not a good man, right?
Right. Ok. Entonces,
So
ok, no es bueno. Exacto. Yo tengo que aceptar mi
You have
responsabilidad
to
de autoexplorarme
explore yourself and take the responsibility
y
for
saber
that.
dónde está mi
And
punto
to
G.
know where my G-spot is.
Sí, pero es responsabilidad del hombre
But it's also the man's responsibility
ayudarme en el
to
proceso
help me in the
de
process,
identificarme
to
como mujer
identify myself as a woman
y entender
and to understand
mi cuerpo,
my own body,
porque soy una mujer que tiene alma
because I'm a woman and I have a
y que
soul,
tenemos cambios lunares.
and we have our moon also.
Okay. Sumamente importante.
This is an important moment.
Ahora, vamos a ver. Importante.
Something
Ahora,
important here.
39%
39%,
tiene orgasmo mediante el proceso de masturbación.
they have orgasms through masturbation.
Es decir, del 100% de las mujeres a
So,
nivel mundial,
out of 100% of women,
solo
only
39%
39%
estamos tomando la
are
responsabilidad
taking responsibility
de autoconocernos.
to get to know each other or ourselves.
¿Ok? Porque solo cuando yo me
Because
reconozco,
only when I recognize myself,
yo puedo decirle a
I
mi
can
pareja,
tell my partner,
esto me gusta,
this is what I like.
esto no me gusta.
I don't like this,
Ok.
right?
Ok, soy caliente,
This is hot,
soy fría,
this is cold.
aquí me gusta, aquí no
I
me
like it
gusta.
here, I don't like it here.
Es parte, es un juego.
It's a game.
El sexo
Sex
debe verse como un juego.
has to be seen as a game.
Ni gano ni pierdo nada.
You don't win or lose,
Debo ir para jugar.
but you just go to play.
Es un lugar de relajación,
It's a place for relaxation,
pero es el mejor lugar de comunicación.
but it's the best place for communication.
La gráfica está pasando lenta.
He's going to help it. Let them
Okay,
let
okay.
arrow.
Ok,
There.
ok, thank you. Entonces,
So,
el hombre debe saber
the man has to know that there are different factors that intervene in the lack of satisfaction sexually.
y estos factores
These
son factores
factors
emocionales,
are
factores
emotional,
físicos,
physical,
factores sociales,
social,
pero el más
but
importante
the most
es
important
ignorar mi
is
cuerpo,
ignorance of the body.
solamente ser un robot
I'm just a robot.
y olvidarme de haber
And
sentido
to forget about feeling
woman.
a woman.
Porque un problema importante que he
Because that's an
encontrado
important problem that we
es que
found.
debido a que los roles han sido cambiados,
It's because a lot of times we've switched roles.
la mujer está conectada con
The
el
woman
alma,
is connected to the man
con energía
with the
masculina,
masculine energy,
no con energía femenina.
not with the feminine energy.
Es una energía que
It's
recibe,
energy that receives.
¿ok? Es una energía sensual.
It's a sensual energy.
Es una energía de placer continuo.
Pleasurable, continuous
Estás
pleasure.
conectado con lo
You
que
are
es el universo y
connected with the
contigo
universe
mismo.
and with yourself.
En la parte emocional, una
The
mujer puede haber
emotional part
tenido
of a
traumas,
woman, maybe
también
she had
violaciones en la infancia.
traumas from childhood.
Y cuando esto pasa,
And when this happens,
no permite que haya una conexión
you don't allow to have
porque
a
estás
connection because
recordando
you are
a cada
remembering
momento ese
at every
instante.
moment those instances.
Dentro de los problemas físicos,
The physical
pueden ser
factors
después
you
del
can have
parto, por
maybe
ejemplo,
after
atrofia,
beginning birth,
donde las cicatrices
where the
cortan
scars
la
cut
irrigación
the
de la circulación,
the circulation in the vagina,
atrofia del área.
the atrophy,
Y si no hay una adecuada sensibilidad,
and if you don't have a normal sensibility,
el nervio no está vivo,
the nerve is not alive.
no vas a sentir un
You're not going to
orgasmo.
feel an orgasm.
Dentro de los factores sociales,
Social factors here,
hay muchos importantes,
very many that are
pero el
important.
segundo más
The
importante del
second one most
divorcio a nivel
important
mundial
in the divorce worldwide,
es el factor económico.
economic factor.
Entonces,
So
el hombre da,
the man gives,
la mujer recibe,
the woman receives,
¿ok? Y debe ser algo mutuo.
and it has to be mutual.
Yo doy, tú recibes.
I give, you receive,
Tú recibes, yo doy.
and you receive and I give,
Es importante
and vice
conectarnos
versa,
con
and
el
it's
dar y
important to
recibir,
connect this,
porque
giving
todos
and
tenemos
receiving,
energía
because we all have
femenina
that energy,
y
feminine
energía
energy,
masculina.
and masculine energy.
Pero aceptar
But we have to
tu
accept
cuerpo de
your
mujer en
body
esta vida
as a woman in this body.
será sumamente importante
It's extremely important
para que actives la
to
diosa
be
en
able
ti.
to activate the goddess within.
Slide.
Yeah, thank you, buddy.
Pero, ¿cuáles son los beneficios
What are
de
the
un orgasmo?
benefits of
Todos
an
nos
orgasm?
estaremos preguntando cuáles
We're
son los
wondering,
beneficios.
right?
¿Sí? Puedo disminuir
We
la
can
tasa de
disminuate
muerte en un
this
50%.
Mortality rate by 50%.
Mejorar el flujo sanguíneo.
Improves blood flow,
Voy a liberar hormonas de la felicidad.
releases hormones of happiness,
Voy a mejorar la oxigenación a nivel de mi cerebro,
improves oxygenation in my brain,
por lo cual voy a pensar mucho
so
mejor.
I'm going to think better.
Es un analgésico
It's an
natural.
analgesic, natural analgesic.
Disminuirá el estrés como
This
ninguna otra
decreases stress
técnica.
like nothing else.
Mejorará tu piel,
It will improve your skin.
tus músculos vaginales
Your vaginal muscles
tendrán
will
mayor fuerza de
have
contracción cada
more
vez.
strength
Dicen
every
que la
time.
práctica hace el maestro o no.
Right? When practice makes perfect, right?
Quemarás 200
You will burn
calorías
200 calories.
y sobre todo
And
aumentar la
You will
confidencialidad
increase
entre
your confidence
tú y tu pareja.
between you and your partner. Thank you.
He aquí, porque
Here,
muchas me han preguntado
A
a
lot of
veces,
people
¿dónde
ask,
está el punto G
where is the
vaginal?
G-spot?
¿Dónde está eso?
Where
¿Es
is
un
it?
tabú?
Is
¿Existe?
it
¿Es
taboo? Does it
cierto?
even exist? Is it
Pues
true?
sí.
Well, it is.
Yo les puedo decir que
I
en
can
mi
tell you,
experiencia, el
in
punto
my
G
experience,
sí
the G-spot
existe.
does exist.
Sí existe.
This,
Según la ciencia,
according to science,
se encuentra a
it is
1.5
found at
centímetros en la
1.5
entrada, en
centimeters in the
continuación
entrance,
con lo que es el clítoris.
right after the clitoris.
Otros ahora refieren
And
que
other
es
people
15
say
centímetros
15 centimeters,
todo lo que es la pared anterior vaginal.
the entire anterior walls of the vagina.
A ver, pongámonos de acuerdo.
Let's agree with this.
Grafenberg, muchos
Grafenberg,
años atrás,
many years ago,
sí, dijo, está a
said
1.5
it's at
centímetros,
1.5
está
centimeters.
muy cerca de la
It's
entrada.
very close to the entrance.
Entro mis
I
dedos,
just stick my fingers in,
ok, presiono
I
con mi
press
dedo índice, dedo
with my
medio y le
index and
escucho
middle
y le
finger,
encuentro. Debo hacer
and I find it. I
presoterapia para
have
poder
to press to
encontrarlo.
be able to find it.
Sin embargo, ahora la
Now,
ciencia
science
dice,
says these
wow,
days, wow,
este es un punto sumamente complejo.
this is a very complex point.
¿Quién dijo que la mujer era fácil?
Who said that women were easy?
El punto G de la mujer
The
tampoco es
G-spot
fácil.
is not easy either.
Y al igual que los pezones,
Just like your nipples,
está a la derecha,
it's maybe a little bit
a la
further to the
izquierda,
right, to the
al
left,
frente o tan
higher,
posterior.
maybe lower,
Y es por eso que
and
hace
that's
tan
why
difícil que dos
it's
parejas
very
puedan
difficult for
conectar.
couples to connect sometimes.
Sí, ahora, en mi experiencia
In my experience, personal experience,
exacto, es donde he comenzado a diferir
this is where I
totalmente de
started
la ciencia.
going away from science here,
Porque
because
realmente, aunque
truly,
la vagina pueda
even if your
estar
vagina
sensible,
can be so sensitive,
es muy probable que no
it's
esté a la derecha o a la
probable that it's not
izquierda,
on the right side or the
o al
left side
frente, muy
or in
cerca,
front,
sino que esté
but
tan posterior
it's so up
que es muy probable que si no
that
sabes
it's
tú dónde
pretty
está tu punto G,
feasible that if you don't know where your G-spot is,
¿cómo el hombre lo va a encontrar?
how is the man going to find it?
Harry Potter. ¿Qué dice Albert? Harry Potter puede ayudar.
Harry Potter can help you.
Sí. Entonces, indiscutiblemente es importante.
Unequivocally, it's
Y
important.
muchas mujeres lo
And
tienen
a
a
lot of
nivel
women
posterior.
have it in the posterior.
Es ahí donde viene a salvar
And then it's where it comes to save
la activación de
the
punto G
activation of the
vaginal.
G-spot in the vagina.
¿Sí? Y hay cosas muy interesantes.
There are things that are very
El
interesting.
punto G vaginal
G-spot in the vagina
es como un músculo.
is like a muscle.
Si no lo uso,
If you don't use it,
se atrofia.
it can atrophy.
Está muerto.
It's dead.
¿Ok?
All right?
Yo también estoy muerta.
I am dead too if that
Y debo
happens.
darle vida
I
a ese
have to
punto
give
G.
it life to that
Entonces,
G-spot.
es aquí donde yo acepto el
It's
50%
here
de
when
responsabilidad.
I take 50% of the responsibility
Regeneramos el
to
punto G,
regenerate the G-spot.
pero después la
But
mujer necesita
afterwards, the
aceptar la
woman needs to
responsabilidad
accept the
de que
responsibility.
debe
She
comenzar a
needs
romper tabúes y traumas.
to break taboos and
Dentro
traumas
de ellos,
inside
la
themselves,
autoexploración.
the self-exploration,
Para que este músculo
to be
tenga
able to
vida.
have this muscle back to
Porque
life.
está rico de 8.000.
Because it has about 8,000 nervous endings. It's rich in
Ahora bien,
information.
cuando tengo exactamente un orgasmo,
When I have an
es
orgasm,
importante
it's important to
reconocer
recognize
que la vagina se
that the
contrae
vagina
y se
contracts
hace
and it
30% más
becomes
pequeña,
30% smaller.
lo cual al hombre le encanta.
And what men love
Cuando le hacemos la técnica de
when
punto G vaginal,
women do this technique,
al mismo tiempo
at the
podemos
same
hacer un
time,
cierre
we can
de lo
close
que
it,
es el
clamp
canal
it.
vaginal sin cirugía.
without surgery.
Exactamente.
Right.
Pues el músculo
The
se
muscle.
rejuvenece.
Yeah, but strengthens and becomes younger again.
El músculo, exactamente. Por ende,
And
vamos a poder
therefore,
contraer
we'll be able
mucho
to
mejor.
contract it better.
Y por sí solo,
And by
elimina
itself,
fluidos
It
y
eliminates
bacterias.
fluids and
Es un
bacteria.
mecanismo de limpieza natural.
It's a natural cleaning system.
Esta gráfica es sumamente importante.
This graphic is extremely important
¿Por qué?
because
Porque la ciencia
Science
sigue investigando y
keeps
dice,
exploring
¿qué voy a hacer con la mujer?
what am I going to do with women.
No deja de sorprenderme.
They don't stop surprising me.
Y aquí encontré en la
Here, I
literatura
found in
y
the
es algo
literature,
frustrante.
and it's something very frustrating.
Dice,
It says,
¿por qué preocuparte?
why do you even worry
Si tú puedes tener orgasmo clitoriano,
if you can have an
¿por qué
orgasm
vas
through
a
your clitoris?
rejuvenecer tu punto G
Why do
vaginal?
you need to rejuvenate your G-spot?
Pero si nos vamos a la anatomía real,
But if we go to the real anatomy,
de cuando tienes un orgasmo a
when you
nivel
have
de
an
clítoris,
orgasm in your clitoris,
a cuando tienes un orgasmo
versus
a nivel de tu punto G
a
vaginal,
G-point,
resulta
if
que
it
el
happens
efecto a
that the
nivel cerebral
effect
es
in your
totalmente
brain
diferente.
is extremely different.
Cuando tienes un
When
orgasmo
you
a
have
nivel
an orgasm
clitoriano,
with your clitoris,
toda la energía
all the energy
del orgasmo
of the orgasm
se queda en el
stays
pélvico
in that
y se
place.
extiende a
It
nivel
expands
anal.
just towards your anus.
¿Ok?
Okay?
Que se quede esta información aquí.
Keep that in your
Es
information.
sumamente importante.
It's extremely important.
Cuando yo tengo un orgasmo
When I
a nivel
have an
vaginal,
orgasm
en el
through the
punto G
G-spot,
vaginal, resulta que el
it
medio
happens
vago
that the
es lo
nervous,
parasimpático
it's a
de
parasympathetic,
estimulación
and it stimulates,
va a llevar toda esta
and it takes all
información
that
hacia mi
information
estómago,
all the way to my stomach,
diafragma,
diaphragm,
hacia mi corazón,
and towards my heart,
hacia mi tallo cerebral
my talon and my brain.
y llegará hasta la dura madre,
And it will get to all the way to the
que
brain,
es
the
un
mother,
neurotransmisor
which is a neurotransmitter
que lleva información a
that
todo lo que es
sends
el sistema
information
cerebral.
to the entire nervous system.
Entonces, si realmente quiero
So if
experimentar
I
el
really
Big
want to
Bang
experience the Big Bang
que ocurre
that
cuando
happens
ocurre un orgasmo,
when
en el
an orgasm
punto G
takes
vaginal,
place in the G-spot,
se conecta con
it
el
connects with your penis.
pene. Estamos hablando
We are
realmente
talking about
de una conexión
a
que no
connection
solo es cuerpo.
that is not just body.
Estamos hablando de una conexión
We're
ática.
talking about a connection
Estamos
beyond.
hablando
We're
de la
talking
real
about
alquimia.
the alchemy, real alchemy.
En este proceso,
In this process,
muero,
I die,
pero vuelvo a la vida.
but I come back to life
En un segundo.
in 1 second.
Yo me transformo
I transform,
y tú te
and you
transformas.
transform.
Eso es algo maravilloso,
That is
¿no?
something wonderful, isn't it?
Entonces la conexión que
That is the
ocurre
connection that takes
es
place.
mucho mayor en las parejas.
It's much more stronger with couples.
No en esperar tantos divorcios.
You wouldn't have to have so many divorces.
No es tan fácil esperar tantas parejas que no se comprenden.
There's a lot of reasons why there are a lot of couples don't understand each other.
Aquí hemos encontrado la
Here,
respuesta.
we found the answer.
Ok. Seguimos. Próximo. Ahora, hay otra información sumamente
Another
importante
information that's extremely
es
important.
que cuando el hombre y la
When
mujer
the
están
man and the
experimentando un
woman
orgasmo,
are experiencing an orgasm,
ambos lo experimentan en
both
las
of
mismas
them
zonas
are
cerebrales.
experiencing it in the same brain waves.
Sin embargo,
However,
después de que el hombre experimenta el
after the
orgasmo,
man has the orgasm,
hay zonas cerebrales que
there
el
are
hombre
brain
se apagan,
zones that get turned off in the man,
que en la mujer continúan activa.
but with the woman they keep activated.
Y eso explica
And that
que
explains
cuando un hombre
why
tiene
when a
su
man
primer orgasmo,
has his first orgasm,
las zonas genitales externas
the genital areas
no responden.
are not
No
responsive.
perdamos el tiempo allí.
Let's not waste our time.
Pero aquí algún
Here,
beneficio hemos tenido.
there is one benefit that we had to have after this, right?
La mujer puede tener
The
1,
woman
2,
can
3,
have
4,
1, 2,
5, 6,
3,
7,
4,
8,
5,
9,
7,
10, 11,
8,
12,
9,
13,
12,
14,
15,
15.
20, 40, 50
Orgasmo. Denle
orgasms.
un aplauso. Algo tenemos que
It's
tener.
like, let's clap for that.
Somos los que damos a luz.
So we are the ones that give birth.
Damos vida, ¿no?
We give life.
Pero creo que es momento de
It's
terminar la guerra
time to end the war
entre el hombre y la mujer.
between men and women.
El hombre es como el que pone la idea.
The man is the one that gives the idea.
La mujer recibe la idea
The woman receives the idea
y le da vida a esa
and gives
información.
life to that information.
¿No les parece una buena
Is that not a
negociación?
good business?
Si no, pregúntenle más.
If not, ask Matt.
En este gráfico
In
podemos
this
ver un
graph, we
factor
can see a factor
importante a
that is
nivel
very
mundial
important worldwide.
que está afectando que la
What's
mujer no tenga
affecting
un
that
orgasmo
women
en
cannot have a G-spot orgasm.
factor se
This
llama
factor is called
fibrosis.
fibrosis.
Y la fibrosis no
The
es más
fibrosis
que un
is nothing more
envejecimiento del colágeno,
than collagen shrinking,
donde hay una grasa
where
envejecida,
there is fat
hay
that
un
got
proceso
old,
inflamatorio en el área,
there is
que
swollen
atrapa
parts
nervios y
around it,
vasos.
and then there are nerves that are
¿ok?
connected.
Mis manos son la fibrosis.
So imagine that my hand is fibrosis,
Y este es el nervio vago.
and this is my nerve.
La fibrosis atrapa el nervio
Fibrosis
vago, así,
catches the nerve like this,
por lo cual no puedo
and
sentir
therefore I
orgasmo.
cannot feel an orgasm.
Pero es la misma
But
razón
it's the same reason
por
why
la que una mujer
a
puede
woman
tener dolor
can have pain
o puede tener mucho dolor.
or can have a lot of
Una
pain.
hipersensibilidad o un orgasmo
Hypersensitivity
tan
or
acelerado,
an
tan
orgasm
fuerte,
so strong and
que a
so
veces
fast
causa dolor
that
también.
sometimes it causes pain.
¿Y cómo
And
descubrimos
how
esto?
did we discover this?
Descubrimos en el 2003,
In
hicimos una
2003,
publicación
we did a
que
publication.
estábamos estudiando
and we were
fibrosis en
studying
pacientes de
fibrosis.
contractura capsular mamaria, como cirujana
¿qué es
plástica.
eso?
Pacientes de contractura capsular mamaria. Contracture capsular mamaria.
Yes.
¿Ok? Esto ocurre
This
después de
happens
colocar
after
implantes
you
mamarios.
put implants in your breasts.
Exactamente. Descubrimos que
We
existe un
discovered that there is a factor,
genético
genetic factor,
en el 50%
in
de la población
50% of
mundial.
population worldwide.
Este factor se
This
llama
factor is called
TGF-beta1.
TGF-beta1.
Este factor es el
This
responsable,
factor, transforming factor, is responsible that makes fibrosis take place.
pero ¿quién no ha tomado medicamento?
But who hasn't taken medication?
Analgésicos,
Analgesics,
antifibróticos,
anti-inflammatories,
y todo eso elimina los
Oh.
mecanismos de defensa
all of that kills your defense mechanisms
que el organismo tiene para
that your
formar
organism has to be able to form something important that is called collagenous type 4
que es la
that
responsable
is responsible
de la regeneración
to
continua.
regeneration, continuous regeneration.
Entonces, lamentablemente,
So sadly,
no tenemos cómo regenerarlo.
we
por
don't
sí
have a
solo.
way to regenerate this.
Es aquí cuando la ciencia
Here is
viene
what
a
science tells us to
unificarse
unify
con el mundo espiritual.
with the spiritual world.
Es importante
It's
aceptar
important to
las
accept
técnicas y los
the
avances
techniques
científicos.
and the advancements of science.
En esta próxima
In
gráfica
this other graph,
vemos un problema
we see a
importante
problem
que nos
important
refleja lo que es el
that
síndrome de
reflects
relajación vaginal. Síndrome de relajación vaginal.
relaxation, syndrome of vaginal relaxation that all women in the world will experience at some point.
Pierde agua,
They lose water,
proteína,
protein,
grasa
fat,
y sobre todo los músculos se
and
debilitan.
muscles. They get weakened.
Y por ende,
Therefore,
el punto G,
the G-spot
que debería ser,
that
por ejemplo,
ought to
de
be,
este
for
tamaño,
instance, about this big,
de este tamaño, vemos que el punto
we see
G
that the
es
G-spot
de aquel tamaño.
becomes
Es decir,
that
es un punto
size.
G mucho más pequeño.
It's a smaller, reduced in size.
Es aquí
It
donde
is here where
la tasa
the-
de aplicar la técnica técnica de DrGSpot activation,
where we apply this G-spot activation,
tiene una tasa de efectividad es un 99%.
it's a 99% effective,
Porque lo que hacemos
because
es
what we do
convertir
is
este punto G que
convert
está
that
pequeño,
small G-spot
agrandarlo,
and make it bigger
para que al momento de
to
la
be able
penetración,
to penetration,
cuando entre en contacto el pene,
when the penis enters in contact with the vagina,
ocurra el contacto de roce
the friction happens,
y puede ocurrir el orgasmo
and you can have an
a nivel del
orgasm
punto G vaginal.
with the G-spot
Y sobre
vaginal.
todo si está posterior.
And therefore, if it's in the posterior side, because some positions don't even work.
Y aquí
Here
tenemos
we have
un regalo
a gift
que nos hemos dado a nosotros.
that we give ourselves and to you,
99%
99% effective, the activation of G-spot, a technique that we can create,
aumentarlo
make it grow,
o regenerarlo
or regenerate
por las causas que acabamos de
because of the
mencionar
causes that we
anteriormente.
talked about.
Y usted se preguntará,
Maybe
pero ahora,
you're
¿cómo lo
wondering,
haces?
how do you
¿Dónde
do
está la
it?
técnica?
Where
¿Qué
is the
podemos
technique?
hacer?
What can I do?
Bien. Esta es una técnica totalmente
This is a
rápida,
technique that is
sencilla,
fast,
totalmente
easy,
efectiva, en
effective.
manos expertas.
With
Realizamos
expert
en la
hands,
oficina,
we can be in the
es
office,
cara a cara.
face to face.
Es una técnica que se aplica de una forma totalmente
It's
personalizada.
completely personalized to you
Porque no solamente
because
hacemos la aplicación
it's
de
not
punto
just
G,
the application of
sino que
G-spot,
trabajamos
but
en
we
abrir
work to open
el corazón
the heart
de nuestros pacientes
of our patients
para que pueda haber
to be able to
una
see
verdadera conexión,
a real
una
connection,
verdadera sanación,
a true healing,
no solo de cuerpo,
not just in your body,
sino también del alma.
but also your soul.
La duración de esta técnica puede ser entre unos 30
It lasts
minutos
between
a
30
una hora
minutes
de
to an
aplicación.
hour.
Los productos que utilizamos
The
son
products that we
biocompatibles
use are
totalmente, o de
biocompatibles
regeneración para atacar todo lo que
to be able
mencionamos,
to attack all the
como
things that we
son
mentioned,
fibrosis, el
fibrosis
envejecimiento.
and
Sin
aging.
embargo, uno de los más
But
utilizados
one of
es
the
el
most
ácido
used is
hialurónico.
hyaluronic acid. Do you know it?
¿Qué es un producto? ¿Usted lo
It's
conoce?
do you guys
¿El
know
ácido
it?
hialurónico?
Sí.
¿Sí?
It's in all your tissues.
Ok. O sea, que es totalmente seguro.
This is completely
Su función
safe,
principal es
and its
aportar
primary
agua,
function is to regenerate and to add water,
exactamente, aportar la cantidad de proteínas necesarias
proteins
para
necessary
que ocurra la regeneración.
for the generation of collagen,
Exactamente, y aportar el
and
volumen,
to be able
el músculo
to
puede
add
contraer
volume,
mucho
and then the
mayor.
muscle can contract stronger.
Ahora, una vez aplicado, ustedes se
Once you
preguntarán
apply
también,
that, you're
¿queda
like,
activado el punto
well,
G?
is the G-spot activated now?
Sí.
Yes.
¿Queda activado?
It continues
Hasta
to
que
be
el proceso de
activated
envejecimiento,
until the
3,
aging
5,
part,
6, 7 años
3, 4,
puede
5,
atacarlo
7
otra vez.
years, starts to make
Sin
it
embargo, si
decrease
quieren
again.
experimentar
If you want to experiment,
orgasmos intensos y
intense
duraderos,
orgasms that last a long time,
lo más importante
what's most important?
exactamente es que, bueno, probablemente vamos a tener que aplicar la
Probably
técnica
we're going to
otra
have to
vez.
apply the technique again.
Significa que
It
perdiste
means
otra
that
vez
you
agua,
lost water,
grasa,
fat,
proteína,
protein again,
y es hora de
and
tener
it's
orgasmos
time to be
intensos y
able to
duraderos.
have orgasms that are intense and long-lasting.
¿Qué identifiqué yo
What did
después
I
de 3 años
identify
de
after
haberme
3 years
autoexplorado
after doing this to myself?
y utilizando radiofrecuencia,
I used radio frequency,
láser,
laser,
diferentes tecnologías,
different technologies,
hormonas,
hormones,
células madres,
mother cells.
que no existe otra técnica a
There's
nivel
no
mundial
other technique worldwide
con la cual la mujer pueda
where a
tener
woman can have
aumento de la libido,
high libido,
multiorgasmia,
multi-orgasmic,
por lo que ustedes escucharon que explicamos,
for what you already heard
y
that we
un
explained,
aumento en intensidad.
and increase in the intensity and the duration of the orgasm.
Incluso esto lo
And
podemos probar
also, we
porque
can also prove this
al momento de
because
la aplicación,
at the time of the application,
la paciente,
the patient,
y ustedes pueden ver
you can
videos
see a
en
video
si
in
ponen
YouTube. If you
DrGSpot,
can see, look for Dr. G-spot.
las pacientes refieren que al momento de la aplicación algunas
Where
experimentan
the patients
un
experiment
orgasmo que va desde
orgasms when we apply it from 1, 2, 3, 4 minute
El
long.
orgasmo más alto que hemos
The
tenido al momento de la
long-lasting
aplicación
orgasm that
son
we've
12
applied is
minutos.
12 minutes.
Ahora, esto se hace
So you do this.
desde un punto de responsabilidad,
This is your point of responsibility,
conectada con
connecting
toda el
with
amor,
all your love,
visualizando cada mujer
visualization, every woman,
como si fueran mis hijas.
as if they were my daughters.
Yo no tengo hijas.
I don't have
Dice
daughters.
que Dios no le da hijos, le da sobrinos.
If God doesn't give you daughters or sons, they give you nephews, and God gave me all the women in the world.
Realmente, estos
Truly,
beneficios son
these benefits
increíbles.
are truly incredible.
Pero si hablamos de
But
la
if we
técnica
talk
de
about the
activación
technique of
de
activation
montaje, nos
of
vamos a dar
G-spot,
cuenta
we're going to
que
realize
finalmente,
that
gracias a
finally,
ella,
thanks to this,
la mujer va va a poder
women
saber
will
dónde
be
está
able
su
to know
punto
what
G.
her G-spot is.
Finalmente también vamos a estar radicando un problema mundial que se llama anorgasmia.
We're going to get rid of lack of orgasms worldwide.
Y vamos a incrementar la lubricación vaginal,
We're going to increase vaginal
la
lubrication,
sensibilidad, la
sensitivity,
conexión con tu pareja.
connection with your partner.
Vamos a garantizar multiorgasmos.
Multi-orgasms guaranteed.
Y sobre todo,
And
vamos a
also,
favorecer la
we're going
autoexploración,
to push for self-exploration,
rompiendo tabúes
breaking taboos
y traumas
and traumas,
emocionales,
emotional,
físicos y
physical,
sociales.
social.
Pero sobre todo,
But
lo más importante
the most
también,
important also
es que podemos identificar cualquier otro
is
problema
that
que
we can
exista
identify any other problem that you may
a
have
nivel del canal vaginal.
in the vaginal level.
Y algo importante
Something that is important
es
too.
el
It
rejuvenecimiento vaginal.
rejuvenates the vagina.
La conciencia
The
de que
consciousness
así como
that
cuido mi cara,
just like I see my face,
también debo comenzar a
I
cuidar
have
mi
to
vagina,
see my vagina
porque es un motor
because
importante
it's an important part of my life
para conectar
to
con
be
mi
able to
sensibilidad
connect
y
with
con
that
mi
sensitivity
feminidad.
and with my femininity.
Y para finalizar
Just to finish
con este mensaje,
with this message here,
es importante
it is
recordar
important to remember
que debo amarme,
that I have to love myself,
amarme,
love myself,
amarme.
love myself.
3 times.
3 veces.
El poder de 3.
Power of 3.
Amor,
Love,
alegría,
happiness,
pureza.
purity.
Amor,
Love,
alegría,
happiness,
pureza.
purity.
Okay.
Okay?
Vagina,
Vagina,
corazón,
heart,
cerebro.
brain.
De esta forma,
In this way,
puede que me pierda en el camino,
I may get lost in the way,
pero lo hice
but I did
y
it
lo disfruté.
and I enjoyed it.
Así que les invito a
So,
que
let me
saboreen la
invite you
magia de la vida
to taste life, the sweetness in life,
en un dulce orgasmo.
in a loving orgasm.
Hermoso día, chicos.
Lovely day to you guys.
And can we please give a round of applause for Louise? Okay, everybody, so the health and wellness space is going to be transitioning into workshops, and we have an orgasmic workshop taking place next. If you want to participate in workshops, you can pay for them in the app or on the website. Just a reminder, Sunrise and Sunset Yoga, $40 pass to attend unlimited. Thank you guys so much for being here today.